Welcome back to Python Scripting for Data Sciences, video part number 4. So we are going to start with class number 4 today. And before we start, let me congratulate you for coming at least 4 parts. That means those who have come and watched all 4 parts have started getting that belief, right, that programming is going to be the easiest thing ever they have achieved, right? And they started learning rather than memorizing things. Yeah, that's very good. So I must congratulate you for learning and coming to the learning phase, coming to the practical world. I welcome you, and let's get quickly started with Python string variables today, right? Now we'll be dealing with string variables today. As I said, what is a variable? Something that varies, right? So that's already explained, right? So I need to keep my MS Paint open so that I can re-explain for those who have not understood. So for example, if I say name is equivalent to, right, I'll write it down here. I'll say name is equivalent to, and now if I give it string, so string has to be either enclosed in single quotes or in double quotes. So I'll say NIIT, right? And now if I say print name, so this is called handling string variables. So now this NIIT as a string, because a collection of characters was assigned to name, and you're printing name here, right? And now this is where we can manipulate it. We can do string manipulations. For example, I can say string name is equivalent to NIIT. Hey, would you mind if you tell me the name type? What is the type of the name? You can see now it is str, which means it is of type string completely, right? And now I can even do some manipulations with strings. For example, if I say that, hey, right, I need to get name. Name already has NIIT, right? You can see, as I need to get name, but I need to end rocks, right? Now I get NIT rocks because it is concatenation of a string with a string. Now you can concatenate variable with a raw string or with a pure string, not raw string, and you can even concatenate two different things, like two different variables, as you're aware of, right? So can I do something like this? I'll say name 0. Now what do? N. I get N. Now let me see this. Now when I say print NIIT, what am I able to print? I am able to print NIIT, right? So now this is what I have printed. And let me keep it here, and let me keep it more viable and more visible for you guys, right? So now if I take it element wise, right, now if I break it down to an array, or we can say if I take it element wise, let me take, I'll say, okay, this is going to be the 0th element, I is going to be the first element, and I is going to be the second, and equally T is going to be the fourth, right? So I'll mark it down here 0, 1, 2, 3. So let me just get rid of some spaces here. Alright, so now I'll be able to understand it in a much better way now, right? Is that clear? Okay, let me just decrease it more so that it is more evident, right? I can clearly see that now this string NIIT, right, if I break it down to like this, so now it is going to be the 0th element, right? So if you say NIIT, first element is basically we start with the 0th element right here. So if I break it down, it's going to be the 0th element, it's going to be the first, second, third, right? Now in case if I say I need to get NIIT, or I need to get name which has NIIT, I need to get 0. Now what do you expect when I say name 0? You expect this 0th element to be taken out and printed to you, right? It depends what you want to do with that, right? You can do further manipulations with that. Yeah, since you want to take out, print, or whatever you want to do with it, right? It depends completely on you, right? What is your job role? What do you want to do with the variable? In my case, I'm just taking it out. I say, hey, give me name first parameter. Now you can see we are getting I, right? Or I can say the last, right? What if I say give me, let's say about 6? I'll get an error. Now, why do I get this error? Because I have only 0, 1, 2, 3. I cannot go beyond 3, right? Name has maximum characters which are 0, 1, 2, 3. That means 4 characters are total. I can go till 3. So that's why I can say name. I can do it like this. Just a moment. I can say something like this, name. The maximum I can say 3. 3 is T. 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? So this T is the third element right here. So if you understand it very well, right? And now if I do something, let's say about like this. And so now if I want to print the first, right? So I write it down here, right? So in order to print the first character of a string. Now you want to print the first character literal of a string, character of a string, right? We say 0, right? For example, name 0. But what about last, right? Right? And we print the last character by specifying -1, right? So now you have to remember these two things. So -1 is going to be the last character, and 0 is going to be the first character. So I'll show you again example for the -1 is going to be name -1. So it's going to be, it doesn't matter how long, does not matter, right? It doesn't matter how long your string is. -1 means the last one, right? If I say print out name, name has an IIT, I'll say name -1. It is going to give me the last. Even if I say name variable, even if I say name is equivalent to, let's say about my name is Anthony, right? And now if I say name -1, it is going to take dynamically the last character, right? Which is going to be Y. If I say name, right? If I say I need to get name and the first character, I will say 0, and dynamically I will get M. M is supposed to be the first one and Y is supposed to be the last one right here. Is that clear? Alright, so now if I want to print something in range, so let me say I want to print name. Yeah, now I'm printing name. My name is Anthony. Okay? Alright, so now if I want to print this name, let's say about in a range, using a particular range, so let me say I want to get name from 0 to -1. Now I want to print all. This means a range that starts with 0, right, which is M, until -1. So you are going to get full. My name is Anthon, because -1 is going to be last character. Last character is not printed, right? Or you can say I need the range from 0 to 4, or 0 to, let's say about 6. Now you can say my NAM, because a blank space is also treated as a character. Now if I count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So you can say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what I can do, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now there are 6 here. I am printing from 0 to 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's here 0, 1, space is 3, 4, 5, and 6 is M. So 6 is the maximum. 6 is not going to be printed because this is the maximum you are going till, right? For example, if I say -1, right? If I say I want to get from 0 to -1, because -1 is the last one, you know, Anthony, -1 means Y. That means it is going to go till -1 without even taking the last one. You can clearly see my name is Anton. So now Y is not coming, right? Because it's the last one, right? So now if you want to print a range from, let's say, about 0 to 6, then you can say 0 to 7, right? You can print this name 0 to 7. Now you are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seventh is not coming. Seventh is the range, or seventh is the maximum. So it's always going to be less than 7. You can say 0 to less than 7. You can take it like this, right? And you can say I want to print from 0 till everything, right? So this means take name, right? Once you are taking name, I want to take from 0, and I use this means all, single colon, means I need everything now. Or you can say I need to get it from 6 till everything. Now you're getting from 6 till everything, right? You can see. And I can say I want to get it from 7, and I want to get everything, but you're getting only 7. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is space. That's what you're getting is Anthony. You're getting is Anthony. Alright, so these are string manipulations, and we will learn more string manipulations as we go ahead with the course, right? So we are going to learn more and more. Now we can do this as well. For example, if you want, let's say about we have name is equal to YOUTUBE. So now name is, string. It's a string. How can I do this? So it is a string, right? So if I print name, it has YouTube, right? Now what if I do, I want to get last 4 characters of name. I will say I want to get last 4, not -1, not first 4. If I want to get first 4, I will say 0 to 4, right? So this is, you are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th is the maximum that you are not going to get. But yeah, what if I want to get last 4? So I'll say last 4, right? I can say I'm targeting last 4. So you can see you're getting U2, right? And what happened here? I don't know. So I'll say name, and I will say last 4. Now you can see you're getting YOUT, not last 4. I'm going to get first 4 right here. YOUT, that is first 4, right? So this way you are going to get first 4. What if I want to get like this, right? Let's say about all. So this means all, and this is you want to get first 4 characters, and this means you want to get all, and let's say about I want to get from 0, or we can say -1, and you can see you are getting E, which is the last. Now if I say from -1 to all, if I say from -1 to all, we're getting an error here. So let me have this from 3 to 10, right? We're getting TUBE, right? So this is from 3 to 10. This is minimum. Now what can we do in range? So range printing. So I'll say RANGE string, right? Printing or values. So I already shown you that we can do right. So last is -1, and then we have a range. We can have from 0 to 2, right? Or we can any range that you can have, right? 1 to max, right? Or 0 to max. Max can be anything, right? And if you want to skip 1, for example, if I skip 1, I want to skip 1. If I say name is equal to YouTube, right? And if I say I want to skip the first, right? Let's say about we have U. I want to get YO only. Okay, let me say I want to get from 1 to 4. So we can do that. Give me name from 1 to 4. You are getting out, right? You can say UOUT. Now what is OUT? You can still see that it's right here. From 1, 0 is kept till 4, right? So this is what you can do, right? So let me try it a few more. string manipulations are fun working with, right? It's going to be a real fun working with string manipulations, right? So we can have full. Alright, so this is going to be full, and this is going to be from 0 to, let's say, about from 4 to full, right? All, you need all from 4, right? Okay, right. So now we had asked you a question. Now this is string manipulations right here. I had asked you the question, right? Now if you are printing, for example, if I am printing this, right, let me clear it up. So I will say name is equivalent to NIIT. Now if I say name, I am getting NIIT. Now if I say name 0, what is that 0? N, so I'll get N, right? So I'll say N, right? So if I say I need to get name 1, I'll get I. That's absolutely fine. But can I change it? Can I say like this, name 0 is equivalent to, instead of N, I will use I, right? Can I change it? Now you are getting this error. String object does not support item assignments. Now I repeat, string objects do not, or they do not support, or the string as objects does not support item assignments. Why am I getting this error? Right, I'm getting this error because of string being, what is string? Immutable, right? Can we do this? So I will say, can we do this? Right? So I'll say, can we do this? Right? That is string. For example, I take name and the first element, which is I, or I can take the name 0th element, right? So I can take this is equivalent to, right, I now, right? So can we do this? So I can say name is equivalent to NIIT. Now can I take the 0th element and manipulate? No. So the answer is no, we cannot do this. Now you can clearly see an error right here, and the error is described in a very basic English. Now it tells you the basic English, right? You cannot do this. You can see this error, right? Now clearly see this error right here, right? Why can't we do this? Because str object does not support item assignments, right? That is the basic thing that we need to take care of, right? So that is why I say, I asked you this question maybe previously. Yeah, I asked this question recently, maybe in the previous lecture I asked you the question that please tell me, is string mutable or is string immutable? Now we cannot change the value because strings in Python are immutable. So I cannot change it, right? Because strings in Python are immutable. Now that is it. We cannot change the value because strings in Python are immutable. Now what do you mean by immutable? Immutable means that cannot change, right? Immutable, anything whose state cannot be, anything, right, whose state cannot be changed, or not anything. I can say we can say data types here, right? Data types in Python whose state cannot be changed, right? Now you cannot change the state. There are few days you will, as you go along with the classes, in not today but in concurrent classes, you will come to know that there are some data types in Python which are mutable also, that you can change. But yeah, string, pure string here is immutable. So let me see how many have correctly answered. Yeah, we again have this OBER, so it's my name is Uber. Yeah, but why do you have space then here? Why do you disturb your search engine optimization? Right. So strings are immutable in Python which means you cannot change an existing string. Another advantage is strings in Python are considered as element as numbers. Yeah, strings are immutable in Python. That's what I required from you. You correctly answered, and more than your name, you have just answered. An immutable object is an object that cannot be modified. Yeah, that is the best thing that you have written, that it cannot be modified. You cannot modify the state of an immutable object or any variable, right, after it's being declared. So now I'll just make you understand what does this mean. So this means, for example, if I declare, I will say int a equals hello, right? So I can do this. Int a equals hello, right? Sorry, what is int? So I can say a is equivalent to hello, right? So I can easily say a is equivalent to hello, and now I can print a. A is hello, right? So now the state of the a is declared here, right? So a is already declared here, so I can say a has hello string, right? Since you have already declared a, you don't need to redeclare a, right? Or you don't need to change the state. Now if I say a is equivalent to hello baby, right, this means you are reassigning it. You are not changing the state here, you are reassigning it. For example, if I say a, now a has hello baby. That means now whatever was in a was deleted and you have reassigned hello baby instead of hello. Now item assignments mean, now if I take the a first element, that is e, right, can I change it? So I'll say is equivalent to b, and here you have string object does not support item assignments, right, in Python. So that is where the problem lies, or that is where the problem is. It's not the problem because strings are made to be immutable, right? And that means once it is declared, now the state cannot be changed. It can be reshaped, but it cannot be changed. Yeah, we can do this. Some of you may say that, yeah, we can do that. For example, we can use str.replace. We have many different functions that we can use, like string replace and many different functions, right? And before I show you, let me read. Now this is declared and now it cannot be changed, right? Okay, now my name is Ubair. Okay, we got it. Some of these objects like dictionaries are mutable. I did not ask about Asim Nazir dictionaries, meaning you can change their content without changing their identity. And everything in Python is an object. Simply put, a mutable object can be changed after it is created, right? So that means immutable cannot be changed. Strings are immutable. Rishi Firdos is asking and replying in a very nice manner. Immutable, that cannot be changed. Abid Nazir, strings are immutable. This means data assigned as a string cannot be changed. Strings are immutable in Python. Amir Yusuf is also answering. Yeah, everyone is answering. Ubad Majid, Python string is immutable because we cannot change the value of string, but yes, we can assign a string value to another variable which is already assigned. Yeah, that's what I have already shown you, that we can reassign but you cannot change, right? So Hamid Mir, strings are immutable in Python, which means you cannot change an existing string or you cannot change their content without changing identity. So who is Eli Cohen? Please change your name. Why do you disturb your search engine optimization? Okay, strings are immutable in Python, and strings are those whose value cannot be changed. And then we have Yawar and S. Yawar Khan. Simply, a mutable object can be changed after it is created. An immutable object cannot be changed after S. And strings are immutable. Very well, very well. Said Jasir Qadri, strings are always immutable in Python. The value defined, it cannot be. Yeah, it's absolutely right. Majid is also replying today. Strings are immutable in Python. We cannot change the existing string. Yeah, exactly. Zakir is there, just answering 4 minutes before. Oh my God. So in Python, a string is immutable. You cannot overwrite and you cannot change the value. Absolutely right, Zakir Ahmad. You've been absolutely spot on, right? All the students have been spot on. So you understood that now we cannot change it, right? But yeah, we can do many different things, right? For example, if I say, I say name is equivalent to youtube. Now I can say this, and now I can say, right, name.replace. Name.replace. It takes two. What do you want to replace in this? right? I will say old. I want to replace T with I want to replace T with A. Now if I run it, and now you can say it has changed YOU, and instead of T we are having A now. Can you see this? Right? So string replace is there, but yeah, what is the problem with string replace here? All right. So now I'll tell you what is happening right here, because if you understand your basics right, and if you set your basics right once, then everything is going to fall under your feet. That's why I emphasize on correcting your basics, right? And it's your prime duty to correct your basics, right? Okay, now you can see now name is YouTube, YouTube, right? Now what we are trying to do here is we said, hey, replace T, this T with A. Now it has replaced, but we just said string is immutable. Now what is happening here, right? I'll say this question because my duty is not only to make you exam ready, but also make you job ready. And it's such a magic that you learn Python in 3 months and go and start working for multinational, right? See the magic, right? See how much important training you're going through. Those who have no idea of what they are learning, I am really sorry for them, right? Because it is not only important for doctors, engineers, even important for housewives today, because I need everyone to have that abstract thinking, have that common sense, have that problem solving, right, and have that computer brain, think like computer, so that you tend to learn different techniques. And now not only that, but yeah, my duty is at least to make sure that all the students who I train pass examinations. That is why I just put emphasis on few points. And if you notice, when you go through your examinations, you'll notice that those are the points that you may have in your examinations, and then you will regret not to have noted them down, right? So this is the time that you can note them down, and tomorrow you'll feel ease in examination. I'll go through just like a water spilling out of the jug, so you'll go very easy, right? And now what you need to do right here is understand that dot replace right has printed the value automatically, right? So now if I say, for example, if I reassign, if I say name is equal to YOUTUBE, now this is assignment. This is called item assignment, right? Now if I say name is equal to, right, Gmail, this is also called item reassignment. First name has YouTube, now name has Gmail. If I print name, so it's going to print Gmail, right? But only when I print. Now once I assign, it does not print once I assign. But here, if I say name is equal to YOUTUBE, right, and it does not print, yeah, but once I say name.replace, and I say name.replace Y with C, right? Capital Y has to be replaced with C. It will print. Now see, it will print. Yeah. Instead of YouTube, U has been replaced by C. It's printing QTube, right? Now what is happening right here, right? We just said strings are immutable. Now why are they being replaced? It is because right, dot replace, I'll just print the syntax here, dot replace old and new, right, always returns a new string, right? So now what does it do? It doesn't change the current string, but it returns a new string. Now you can see, how do you know that it has returned a new string, right? So let me clear it out. So now see the magic here. So I will say name is equal to YOUTUBE. Now what is in name? YouTube. Now if I say name.replace, hey, I want you to replace in the name Y, I want you to replace Y with C. You'll say okay. Now if I print name again, now here it has printed automatically Q2, but now if I print name again, name is not going to have QTube, name is still having YouTube. That's why I say Here it returns a new string which you have to restore. String is immutable, you cannot change it, yeah, but you can do certain tricks. You can again say name is equal to, now this is an assignment operator. You will say I'm assigning back to name what? I'm assigning back to name dot replace, right? Assigning back to name dot replace, which is going to be y with this c. So now if I print name, I get, instead of YouTube, I get QTube. Now even if I print name, I get QTube, right? So this is again one and the same thing. You're assigning it back, right? So it's one and the same thing. But yeah, name dot replace, always remember, name dot replace does not make string mutable. It does not. No, never. Right? It can never make your string mutable. It just returns a new string, right? I hope you have understood this part, right? All right. So now if you want to see the length, for example, I will say INSTT, institute, is equivalent to NIIT. Now if you want to check the length, how much length here is this, so I can say print, or I can simply say len. This len is used to check the length. Now what is the length? 4, right? You're getting 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Total length can also be used to count the number of characters used in a string, right? In our case, we are using 1, 2, 3, 4 characters. So that's what you can do, right? So now this was list, and now this was string. So let me introduce you to something known as magic, or something which is different. Something that is mutable first of all, and something that is magic in Python, and something that is from the basics to intermediate level, to professional level, to advanced level, to data analytics, to machine learning, to artificial intelligence. This particular thing is used, and this particular thing is known as lists. So lists in Python. Now we have something known as lists in Python. But before we start with lists, right, I want you to now deal with input types. For example, I want you to deal with input types, right? I don't know what time is it. We still have few times, so we'll not be able to start lists in Python, but yeah, we'll be able to complete input types in Python today, right? So now what if I do something, let me carry on with something for you guys today. For example, now I want to make dynamic data. I want to take dynamic data, right? So I can do this, right? So this is static, this is not dynamic. I say I'll say num1 is equal to 10. So this is statically I'm taking, right? Now for taking dynamic data, I'll say file new. So this time I'll be working with a complete ID of Python. So I said new. Save this file as, I'll say save as, right? Give it a name, maybe my class or 1, right? So now you have saved this file right here. Now we want to run this file. Now I will say, hey, wait a second. I will say num1 is equal to 10, right? And I can say num2 is equal to 20. Now I need to print, or we can say sum is equal to num1 plus num2, right? And now what is happening? You're assigning 10 to num1, you're assigning 20 to num2, and then you're adding two numbers and giving it to sum. And I can write all the statements together. I can say print. Now I can say print sum. Now run. Hit F5 to run. Now you're getting 30, right? Or you can concatenate in print. You can say with comma, you can say it like this, the sum of two numbers is sum. Now you can do this like the sum of two numbers is 30, right? Now this is being static, so I still say it is static. The sum of two numbers is 30, right? I still say it's static. What if I want to take it from input, right? What if I want to take it as input, right? For that, what I will do, I will say I want to take input from the user, right? You mind if you print start, you start and you print like this, right? Okay, you can print it like this, my calculator. Now whenever you start this program, you will print this my calculator. Now you are saying input, I want you to give me a number, enter, right? I'll say enter number 1, right? Or enter, we can say enter the first number. I can easily take the first number here, and I can use the same here, right? Enter the second number. Now we have made this program as dynamic. Why? Because num1 is going to take number which is as an input from user. Num2 is going to come from the user as an input. Now let me run this. I'll say F5. Now you can say my calculator, enter the first number. Let me just document, or we can say make it more user friendly here. Okay. My calculator, please enter first number. I'll say 10, right? I'll say I will enter the first number as 10. Please enter second number. I'll say 20. Now you can say the sum of two numbers is 1020. Now would you please tell me what is happening here? Right? If you understand this, believe me, you understood everything, right? What is happening here if I say something like this? Now you got to tell me what is happening here. Right. So it's going to be very easy for you guys to understand once you are aware and once you get going and you get an idea of things, right? You get well versed with these programming techniques, right? So then it is going to be pretty easy for you. So now this is my program and this is my output, right? So now I will write it down here because it is being taken as a string. It's taken as a string. If I show you like this, for example, if I say, let me tell you this, and then I'll read. If I now give, I will say 10 and 20, right? Num1 is equal to string 10, num2 is equal to string 20. Why is it string now? Because it is inside comments. Now what happens to string? I showed you yesterday the sum of two numbers is 1020. That means 10 plus 20. That means plus is going to concatenate. Concatenate means if I say Fahim and num2 is equal to Khan, right? Now you can say the sum of two numbers is Fahim Khan. Fahim, it has not added string. How can you add f plus k? 1 plus 1 is 2. How much is f plus k? Nothing, right? But yeah, that is what is happening here. If I give 10 and if I give 20, now I should get 30, but I am getting 1020. But yeah, wait a second. If I just take this string away, if I give pure integer values without quotes, now we will get 30. Now we will get 30 here. That means this plus operator is going to take two operands, right, which is num1 and num2, and this plus is going to add. If the type of num1 here is int, for example, you know that I have shown you that, right? I will say num1 is equal to 10, right? Now if I say type, what is the type of num1? I get it is of type str. Now str cannot be added. Now if I say num1 reassigned by 10, and now if I say what is the type, so what would you please give me the type of num1? Now I get it is int. Now we have understood that we can add integer values only. We cannot add string values, right? So now this is what happens. Now can I convert integer to string, or can I convert string back to integer? That is my question. 1020. I'll say, hey, do not take it as string, take it as int. For that I will do typecasting. I'll convert it. This is an inbuilt function, int inbuilt function. It takes one argument. For example, if I say int, now this is an inbuilt function. It takes one argument, which is something that has to be converted to integer, maybe a string that has to be converted to a string integer in our case. And I will say here also that, hey, convert this string to integer. Now if I run it, it's been converted. The sum of two numbers is 30. Now this string literal is converted to num1 and this string literal is converted to integer right here. And if you do not convert, to integers, you may not be able to do mathematical operations, because mathematical operations are meant to be applied only on numerical types. They're not meant to be applied on string types, char types, or maybe something like that, right? So now what I do here, I say, now here I don't want static data, I want to take input from the user, and I say, hey brother, you come to my maybe website, or you come to my software, you mind if you enter your first number? He'll say, hey, why not, I don't mind, right? So he'll say, I don't mind. So he'll say, okay, hey brother, right, you mind if you enter your second number? Maybe he'll say, okay, I don't mind, just user friendly, right? So now I'll hit F5 and I'll run. Here brother, enter your first number. I will say 20 and second 10. So we are getting 2010. Now you know why are we getting 2010. Almost all the programming languages in the world, be it C, C++, Java, PHP, Python, we have Enterprise Java, we have Perl, everything, whenever you take input from the user, doesn't matter what you want to take, it's taken as pure string, right? I'll write it down here, right? So every time, so we have to make sure that every time, so I'll write it down here. So whenever an input is taken from the user, right? So I will say doesn't matter from where, right? Input is always taken as string, and it has to be typecasted. It has to be typecasted, right? Manually. Typecasting means conversion, right? And string conversions and string to int conversion, right? And string to int conversion is possible in Python, just like all the programming language support, and we do it like this, right? How do you convert? You'll have integer variables, int variable or any variable is equal to, now you call this int, right? You call this integer function and you pass your string variable, string value, right? So string value has to be, now the string value has to be an integer inside though, right? So that is where every input, I said whenever an input is taken from the user, oh, I have just made some spelling mistakes right here, doesn't, it is not doesn't, it is does not matter. So ignore spelling mistakes, so that's not all. So doesn't matter from where, input is always taken as string and it has to be, it's basically BEB, so it has to be typecasted manually, right? So I'll write it down here. It has to be typecasted manually. Conversion and the string to int conversion is possible in Python. For example, we have int variable and we typecast it to int. Now we can do this. I'll say now you are taking input. The entire input you are taking will be passed to an integer function so that it converts it. Now everything or all the inputs you are taking will be taken to an input, right? To an integer function so that input is converted. Now you can see. Now enter first number, I'll say 10, enter second 20. Now you can see we're getting 30, right? If you don't want to do it like this, you can even, right? You'll not concatenate. Now always remember this. If it's a string, plus will concatenate. If it's an integer or floating value, it's going to add and apply mathematical operations. I can do it here because you already have, you'll understand it in a much better. Num1 already has now the input. So I'll say, hey, num1, you do one thing. You convert yourself to int, right? Now this is called item reassignments. You are taking num1. I told you, what about assignments? They take place from RHS, which is right hand side, to left hand side. You are saying, hey num1, I'm converting you to int and giving it back to you. Alright? hey num2, I'm converting you. Now it doesn't work from here to here, it doesn't make sense. You'll say num2 is equal to int. No, it does not make any sense. It takes place from RHS. You say hey num2, which is the num2 you are taking input, right? You'll say hey num2, I'll convert you to int and then give you to num2, because you have to perform mathematical operations, and this way it's going to work also, right? So if I say 100 plus 20 is equal to 120. So now in case I don't do this, I just delete this and I print it directly. Now if I say 10 plus 20, you still get 1020. It's being concatenated. Yeah, now you understand that we can add two integer values and we cannot add two string values. String values with plus can be concatenated. And now second thing that we have to take a note of here is that, for example, if I give let me say, if I give something like that 12.0 and I'll say add with 33.5. Now what do you expect? Now you can see invalid literal for int with the base 10, 12, 0. Now hey, what are you doing? You're taking floating point representation values. You're taking float values. 12.0 is a floating value. 33.5 is a floating value. Why are you converting floating value to int? No, you cannot typecast it to int. If you want to convert, you can convert it to float. Type float. That's it. Now what is happening here? Float is going to take both int and float. If I say 10, 20, so we'll get, yeah, it is float. Now we're getting 30.0. Why? Because the data type is float. We are converting it to float. We're typecasting it to float. Now you can see this is num is being parsed. You can say it's being parsed. Parsed means converted, or you can say it's being typecasted. What is typecasting? Right? The type here is string, because every input is taken as string and you're casting it to appropriate type. What is an appropriate type? Float. Now what is the type of this? Num1. If you say what is the type of num1 here? Alright, I'll say type of num1. What is the type of num1? Float. You can clearly see num1 is float. That is what is called as typecasting. Taking the type num1, which is string, converting it to the appropriate type, which is float, and giving it to num1. Now you're adding num1 plus num2. When you add those two numbers, num1 and num2 are going to be added and given back to sum, and you're printing that sum. That's as simple as anything. Yeah. Now what about floating point values? Now can I do that? Yes. You can take int, you can take 10.5 plus 10.5, which is going to be 21.0. Now you are adding float. It doesn't matter, you apply float, you apply integer. I'll say 1 plus 1, you'll get 2.0. Right? Had it been integer, you'll only get 2. You'll not get 2.0 right here. I hope you're understanding. Let me take a look at timings. Still we have 5-6 minutes. So let me, I'll be sharing this sketch with you in the group. Maybe you're getting it right. And yeah, I request all to do attendance. We are only doing attendance of those who are commenting down in the section, right? All right. And what else more? Please let me know. If you want me to go a bit faster, let me know down in the comment section. If you want me to move a bit slower, so let me know down in the comment section. If I'm moving nice, if you like this pace, yeah, pace is going to be increased slowly and steadily in the concurrent classes, in the upcoming lectures, because I know what you do not know. I know where I have to do hammering, right? What you have to remember, right? These points that are right are very key points, both for qualifying exams. I repeat, both for qualifying exams and for qualifying interviews. So my duty is not to do, what you can just teach you for the sake of teaching and make you waste time. No, it's not waste of time, right? I make sure that each and every time you spend over this class is the value, or is the time that you treasure in your near future, inshallah. Alright, so I want you to treasure that time, and I have fixed the timings for your class, which is going to be 50 minutes max for maybe next 10 classes, right? So if you want it to be extended, let me know down in the comment section. If you want it to be extended, or if you want it to be if it's okay, 50 minutes is okay. If you think 50 minutes is okay, I'll write it down, right? And we'll take this attendance when you answer my question. So attendance is going to be taken from down the comment section. Now, how do you find classes? It's going to be the feedback, right? How do you find classes, right? Should we carry on with the pace, right, with this space, or you want it to increase, which I promise it is going to slowly increase in 4 or 5 classes, right? And just comment me about this. How do you find class in second? What I want from you is to let me know that is 50 minutes per class okay, or you want any increase in class duration, right? So this is my question, and all those who will comment down, those who their attendance will be taken. Not only their attendance will be taken, the seriousness with the course is going to be taken by. You are watching. What do you want? It's your duty to let us know, because we are not in front of us. You have to always encourage your instructors. If you don't encourage your instructors are not going to make valuable content for you, right? And in order to acknowledge, and in order to let them know that what do you want, you are watching. If you feel like 60 minutes, it should be, instead of 50, it should be for 60 minutes. You can let your instructor know that, hey, it should be for 60 minutes, or if you think it should be only for 40 minutes, it's your right. And your valuable input and feedback is going to be highly appreciated by NIT Limited, and we shall be content in providing you each and everything up to the extent possible under us and up to your worth as well. And it's your right to let us know down in the comment section, and we'll also be taking your attendance like that. So right, till then, I wish you all the best. I'll see you tomorrow with a fresh class, which is lists. We are going to see a new data type tomorrow, which is not mutable but immutable now. So sorry, which is not immutable but mutable now. So I'll just keep a big question mark. It's my favorite. Believe me, in entire Python, if something that I love is list, right? So list is going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be, what is tomorrow? Friday, right? And all the champs, I must again congratulate you, right? And you need to create that self-belief in you. Please create the self-belief in you. Those who are mastering Python are not better than you. Those who are mastering artificial intelligence do not have an inch of brain more than you, right? It's only the patience, 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 and patience. Be patient, right? If you're not understanding 100%, 70% is good, right? You will understand. It often happens, you find the chapter number 1 difficult, but once you move from chapter number 1 to chapter number 10, and then once you read chapter number 10, then you go back to chapter number 1, you find chapter number 1 easy. And similarly, when you move to chapter number 20, chapter number 10 becomes easy. Chapter number 30 will make chapter number 20 easy. So that is the harsh reality of the life, right? At this time, if you're finding some difficulties, maybe 5% or 10%, so those difficulties are not going to remain. Only those who are patient and only those who are content and consistent will move ahead with this course till web application development and till artificial intelligence. Until then, I wish you all the best. Do pray for me, right? And wish you all the best. Let me know the question in the comment section down, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care.